a little bit about myself, and also the different types of programs that we have in Ireland, the Classic program and the Select program. I've broken down each program into the different durations and the ages that we can offer for each. So for the Classic program, and this is predominantly for European students, we can offer a 12-week program starting in August and January, a term program starting in August, a semester program starting in January, and an academic year program starting in August. And these are for students that are aged between 13 and 18. For the Select schools that we have, which are the day schools and the boarding schools, they're typically year programs starting in August, and they're for 13 to 18-year-olds. However, on some of the schools, we can offer term and semester programs as well. So just to give you an idea of the areas that we are working in Ireland, for the no choice Classic programs, your students will be placed in either the Tralee area, in the County Kerry area, County Cork, and County Limerick. So more towards the southwest of Ireland. We do offer a choice program, and this is in the Dublin area and the Cork City area. And there is a supplement for both of those options. Here is a list of the day schools and the boarding schools that we are working with, and they're spread out all over Ireland. And these are very, very prestigious schools that offer day pupils and also the boarding options. So here's just a little bit of information for you to understand about the high school cycle in Ireland and how it is broken down and how it will differ from other countries that perhaps you're working in. So the junior cycle is for students aged between 12 and 15. And when they graduate at 15, they get the junior certificate. Okay. And this is typically for students who have completed 2 years of primary education, pre-primary education, and 6 years of primary school. And what I've done here for you is to list the typical subjects that a student will take throughout the junior cycle. And then we look at the transition year, and this is for students that are age 15 to 16. It's the 4th year in the school system in Ireland. And this is typically like a sort of it's a less academic year, and it gives students the opportunity to experience and test out different subjects that they want to study when they enter the senior cycle. And within this, there's quite a lot of information I've put here on the core subjects that they maintain to study, like English, maths, and modern languages. But it gives them the opportunity to try out different subjects, as I mentioned. So for instance, if a student wanted to do biology or business or music or construction, they can take small taster subjects to see whether they're going to like it as they move forward throughout the transition year. This is a really good year for students to come on a cultural exchange program. Typically, students also will get the opportunity to do some work experience whilst they're there. So if they want to be a vet, for instance, and they can maybe do a week experience in a vet's clinic, or if they want to do childcare, then they can maybe be in a preschool or a creche. And once they do the transition year, they move through to the senior cycle, and this is for students aged between 16 and 18. And at the end of when they're typically 17 or 18, they will take the Leaving Certificate examination at the end. And this is a recognised certificate for academic institutions in the UK, Europe, the US, for entering to university. And here you'll see there's a lot more subjects that the students will have the ability to take. So we have different choices depending on the program that you decide to take. So we have the host family side of things, where we recruit our local coordinators in all of the areas. We recruit all of the families. All of the families go through a police iris check. We follow the same guidelines as in Ireland as we would do in the UK, with yearly visits to all of the families to make sure that the house is in the order that we expect. We also offer boarding as well, and this is for students who want to be either a 5-day boarding or a 7-day boarding. If they choose to do the 5-day boarding, then we will arrange a family locally to where the school is for Saturday and Sunday, and then also that family during school holidays for half term, for potentially for Christmas and for Easter. Or you can choose to do the 7-day boarding, which is a full boarding program with everything included. This is typically dorm style accommodation, where it'll be multi-bedded with shared bathroom facilities. And on the next slide here, I've just given you a little bit of information about what's included within each of the programs. So the basic will be the placement of the school, host family accommodation, which is full board and typically in a shared room, arrival and departure transfers, the orientation of your local area and support in buying the necessary uniform and books, as well as local check-ins with the local coordinator, and also us attending any parent-teacher meetings and 24-hour support throughout the program, advice on extracurricular activities that students want to take part in, whether it be teams or clubs, etc. What we don't include within our basic price is if the student would like a single room supplement, any cost of uniforms and school books, transition year fees, and then for staying over Christmas and Easter, there is always an additional charge for that. And then on the select program side, very, very similar, but obviously on this instance, that it's the accommodation and the tuition fees of the private school are included. We also offer assistance in booking host family accommodation locally throughout the year for the holiday periods that I mentioned before. And the same things aren't unfortunately included within the basic price, but we do offer them as additional services. We also offer advice and support on the IRP permit for non-EU students who wish to stay for longer than 90 days in Ireland. Okay, so that is the basic presentation that I've put together at the moment. If you would like to ask any questions, I can answer any questions that you have.
So, hi, Peter. Thank you very much for this presentation.
Hi, Patty.
My question is regarding the Spanish students. As we don't work with Ireland, I would like to know if there is a limited space for Spanish. I mean, not finding so many Spanish in the school, or do you understand me? No, yeah.
Yeah, I do. And I think over the years, Patty, I think a lot of agents have worked with Spain a lot with high school programs, and many large Spanish agencies have also produced their own operation in Spain as well. And I think that is quite common. Our network is throughout Ireland, and I really do believe that there is now quite a diverse population of international students in Ireland. There is always going to be a proportion of Spanish students, but there is also Italian and German and other European nationalities that are there as well. The schools we work with, and in some areas they're in, like the southwest of Ireland, is a popular area. But I think it really depends on kind of what you're looking for. The boarding school side, then there are obviously less Spanish students, but the prices of those programs are a lot higher than the cultural exchange program. What we can do, if you have anybody that's interested, we can get some stats on each of the schools that we work with, and we can look at providing you with details of the last academic year of how many different nationalities they had there. And if we feel there are too many Spanish-speaking students, then we can maybe put your students in another school that suits.
Okay, Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Peter, yeah, I have a question about the accommodation. Can we go to that slide, please?
We
Because
can.
I saw something and can you explain a little bit further what's the difference between the 5-day boarding and 7-day?
Okay,
Like,
so the 5-day boarding is during the school week, they stay on the school in the school facilities. So the same type of boarding facilities as they would if they were staying there for 7 days. It just means then on the Friday night, the Saturday night, and the Sunday night, we would have a local host family for those students to go to. So I guess really it's an opportunity for the students to experience both a boarding school environment, but also an Irish family. So we would always have the same family throughout the course of the program. Also, sometimes like a family doesn't want to commit to having a student for the whole 7 days a week for a whole academic year. So it's just a different way of experiencing two different things in Ireland, both the boarding and host family.
thank you. I would also like to know why Ireland? What makes it like special?
The people, that's what makes Ireland special. The welcome that you get in Ireland from the Irish people. It's a very, very beautiful country. Do not listen to anybody that says that it rains all of the time, because it is absolutely stunning environment. The school system, it's a very, very safe environment for the students to be in as well, which is the #1 priority. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Yes, Pete, how's it going? Bernardo here.
Hi, Bernardo.
Hi. Getting into a presentation, you said that you have like the transition year that is most like the best one to get in for any kind of student. But if you have any kind of student from Brazil in a senior cycle, that is the 16 and 17, is there a problem about like their certification because they really wanted to validate it? So they have to do 2 years or only 1 year or a semester? Can we get like the school transcript for them so they can validate it when they come here to Brazil?
Something to be really clear on the non-European markets is that if a student wants to come and taste cultural exchange programs, if you come from Brazil, you can only come on a 12-week program, which is for under 90 days on the cultural exchange program. If you want to come for longer than 90 days, then you have to attend a private day school or a private boarding school. And that's the only way that you can come in on those programs.
Yeah.
So,
or if the kid is a dual citizenship, right? Sometimes
absolutely. Absolutely. So if they have a Spanish passport or a Portuguese passport, then or any European passport, then they can come and do an academic year as a European student.
Okay. All right. Great. But is a problem if they go as a senior cycle, if they select the private day or boarding, they need to do the whole year or like just a term? They can get like this school transcript.
Yes, they can get the school transcript. They will get the report at the end of the duration of stay. Every one of those schools that I listed on their let me go back to that slide there. Where are we? Here. All of those schools do academic years. Only a selection of those schools will do term and semester. But what I would recommend for a Brazilian student, in a way, if they're going to come and do a term, I would recommend that they do a 12-week program on the cultural exchange, because the price point is very different and it's cheaper for them to come and do that program rather than going in and doing a program in a private day school or a boarding school. But if they want to go to one of these schools, if their parents really want that, then of course we will look at the application and the English level of the students and what they want to study, and then we will be able to select the best schools for you out of those there, depending on what they want to do. And that's part of the counselling process.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, hi. Is there any orientation on arrival?
Yes, there is. So in every area that we do, there is an orientation that is carried out by our local coordinators. We don't have a per se welcome camp in Ireland, as we do in the UK, but every local coordinator is within a very short distance from where the students are. when they arrive, they're there to meet them on arrival, and we will do a local orientation and support the students in buying any of the materials that they need to start school beforehand, and they get used to the local area. They'll get used to the other students that they'll be studying with that are on the international program.
Okay, thanks.
And it's a good opportunity for the students, particularly to mix together, but to get to know the local coordinator who's going to be there to support them.
Peter, do you have like pictures of some of the boarding schools and day schools so that we can see like the campuses?
I don't have those links, but I can forward them to you so that you can have those. I have links to all of the schools that are there.
Okay, perfect. I would love to have that.
Yeah, and we can also create, I can create a map for you so that you can see exactly whereabouts in Ireland that they are.
Okay, perfect.
So there is one
you.
other program that I've not listed on here that is something that we've launched for August, September 2026. And this is the dual program that we're looking to run. And that enables a student to come and experience both Ireland and the UK. So you can come and you can do a term in Ireland to start with. You can return home then at Christmas time. And then in January, you come and experience a semester in the UK so that you can have both. Or the opposite way around, you can do a semester in the UK and then a term in Ireland. And this is a good cultural exchange experience.
How can we get the prices and terms?
Okay, so the idea with this then, Fernando, is for you to be able to reach out to your representative here at ABC, whether it be Bernardo or Callum, etc., and they will be able to give you the pricing that's designed specifically for your agency. But what we do work on are always net prices to agents. So we can make a note. Let me make a note of your name on here, Fernando, and we can make sure that you get the prices that you need today. Does anybody else have any questions?
I have another one. Sorry, I have too many
Okay,
questions.
that's a good.
Do you know like what the extracurricular activities are at this schools? Like,
I mean,
is it similar to the US?
It's similar to the US. Obviously, it gives students the opportunity to try more Irish sports, whether it be Gaelic football or hurling. There's football, there's rugby, there's all sorts of different clubs that are there, but there's also dance and drama, and there's a huge range of different extracurricular activities that students can take part in. And that's something that we encourage them to do, to make friends in their local area. And it's something our local coordinator will absolutely help them to do.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any other questions?